Getting set for this broadcast. So hang on. Liberation greetings to all the people of Ambazonia. Greetings to all and sundry. Today is another very interesting day on the JMA connection, and today we are going to be having a very interesting and important conversation with two I mean, two key leaders in our liberation movement. I'm going to be having on this platform in just a little bit, Comrade Yerima Daphne of the IG Care and Comrade Prizo Agbo of the Southern Cameroon's National Council, that's the acting national chairman of the SCNC, and Comrade Daphne Yerima is the vice president of IG Care. And so we're going to be having a very, very interesting conversation. As you are joining, please make sure to share the link. We will be, departing in just a very, very, very little bit. But meantime, enjoy this downsteps again from Nsok, that's from Bui County. And I'm urging those of you from the Southern Zone who have videos of the Southern Zone cultural jamborees, please make sure to share them with me. I've seen some on Facebook. I tried to download, but it really didn't come out fine, and so I really need to have this from across the board. We have the possibility to continue to sell our culture even while we are at war for a lot of our friends and sympathizers who happen to be watching this platform. So please share the link, share. As soon as I find us at 80, 100, we will begin. But that will be in just, I mean, a very few minutes. So please share the link.
Keep it up, oh, 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 that's the shining Keep it up, oh, 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 that's the shining
Thank you very much, those of you from ground zero, ground one, ground two, and in the diaspora, be in North America, Western Europe, Asia, Eastern Europe, and whatever part of the world you find yourself in, and you are connected to this broadcast. Thank you so much for doing so. And as I said earlier, share the link as much as you can, and we have also made it possible today that you should be able to participate on this program. That's why you see on the scroll, you will be able to see that on the scroll, you'll be able to see that there's a phone number there, and that number is for WhatsApp text and dialing only. So you can actually call on WhatsApp if you want to participate by asking your question live on this broadcast, or you can send a text. When you send a text asking your question, we will answer. So Owamba Betondi, our God is still saying something. Of course, our God is actually still saying something. Betondi, and thank you for being here. So I can see you are already there. And so I have Comrade Yerima, who is coming in all the way from France, and all the way from Comrade Yerima is coming from Switzerland. I beg your pardon. And I have Comrade Agbo Prizo, who is coming in all the way from France. Hello, Comrade Prizo, can you hear me? Comrade Prizo, can you hear me? Yes, if you are talking, Comrade Prizo, your microphone is definitely muted. I have the feeling your microphone is muted, Comrade Prizo. Comrade Prizo, I think your microphone is muted. So you need to do something on your microphone so I can get you better. Check your mic while I come back to you. In the meantime, I move over to Switzerland. Or is it somewhere in Belgium where I meet Comrade Daphne Yerima? Comrade Daphne Yerima, hello. Can you hear me? Buddy, how are you doing today?
Well, hello, Comrade John. Today it's a very cold day out here, but we thank God for health, and we thank God that everything is going on okay as of now. And I want to say hello to all Amazonians, especially our brothers and sisters and comrades on Ground Zero. I want to say thank you for your resilience. You've made us proud, and we've gotten La Republic to Cameroon on her knees. And I also want to thank our gallant revolutionary fighters for the work that they've been doing to protect homeland and defend homeland. And we are here today to assure them that we've been working so hard for the liberation of homeland, and homeland shall be liberated.
I sure will
But
come
we
back to
must
you.
do it
Just
together.
enough for me to also once more hello, Comrade Prizo, and be sure that Comrade Prizo has sorted out the issue of his microphone. So, Comrade Prizo, I don't know if you can hear me right now. I'm heading to you, and I suppose you've been able to address the issue of your microphone. So, Comrade Prizo, can you hear me all right? Oh my goodness. I don't know why we still have issues of microphone. Let me check from this end. But I see absolutely you are connected to audio right here. So you should be good, Comrade Prizo. I don't know what's going on, but try to see how to fix it. Can you get feedback to yourself? Can you get me? Yes, but I can't hear you. Not even 1 inch. I don't. Okay, unfortunately, we lost Comrade Prizo. I suppose we will find the opportunity to fix whatever is going on that way and be back here. And so when he comes back, we will get him. We had some technical issues at the start of this broadcast, but we are going to make sure to put everything in order to make this broadcast quite stabilized. So while he is coming back, Comrade Yerima, we have not been able to have all the cuts to have all of us on the screen at the same time. We'll get this fixed. Like I said, there are a lot of things that are still being fixed in this new studio, and so it's work in progress. So, Comrade Yerima, I want to ask you, what is your perspective? Take a quick look into 2023. How do you think we fared in 2023, Comrade Yerima?
Well, Comrade John, I want to say we did very well in 2023. Why do I say this? Um, as Amazonians, when we decided on this issue of our liberation project, we unanimously agreed on the issue of economic sabotage as one of the ways to get La Republique to force La Republique to come to the table. And since when we had that consensus for all Amazonians, I mean, this consensus from all Amazonians, that is that is one of the strategy we will use. I want to say we've really succeeded because 2023 proved that civil disobedience, economic sabotage worked because we saw La République du Cameroon on her knees. That country is dead. I believe that if they auction that country for free, and any person who understands what is going in that country right now, nobody will even offer a penny to buy French Cameroon. And that is as a result of the resilience of our people on ground zero. And that is why I remove my hat to them because they kept that promise. They stayed dedicated, they respected Monday ghost towns, and until today, they are respecting it. And nobody, La Republic has used all kinds of tools to give the international community the impression that the revolution is over. But our people have proven them wrong, that we have been very victorious in that aspect. You remember in 2023, some they call themselves colonial counselors, or I don't know the post that they have there in like to Cameroon. They even went ahead to lock the shops of our people when they were respecting the Monday ghost town. But our people did not give up. It didn't shake them. They've stayed resilient. They've sent a very strong message to the government of La République du Cameroon that it is liberation. Boy, Ambazonia must be free. And if Ambazonia is not free, that country is already dead. And I believe it's time we'll be finalizing the last nail on the coffin, as Bia is also on his way to his grave. And the people of La République du Cameroon should understand that this is a strong message for them to stand up and take their country from the hands of the Bulu gang that is led by Paul Biya.
Thank you, there, Comrade
Because
Yerima.
it,
Sure. We'll definitely
I
come
have a
again
lot.
to that when we discuss exactly what message we want to share with the people of Ground Zero. The people of Ground Zero have been reaching out. People have been calling and sending messages. They really have certain things that they want us to do. They have an approach they want us to take. And so I mean, and this approach they believe will actually push the citizens of La République du Cameroon to understanding that their government has been irresponsible and they need to kick out such a government, get their occupational forces out of our territory and go to take care of their own businesses. So, Comrade Yerima, I'll be moving on to Paris once more, where Comrade Agbo Prizo is back. Comrade Prizo, I suppose they've allowed your throat and let your lips loose so you can talk this time. Hello, Comrade Prizo.
Yeah, Comrade Kuro, let me be sure that you can get me this time.
Definitely, I can hear you
Five
so
on
well
five.
now. Beautiful voice, sharp, neat,
Thank
and
you
you
very
see,
much.
this is cool. So you're welcome back.
Thank you very much. And I want to apologize immensely to all Ambazonians. I know they were expecting to hear me talk. Unfortunately, this is a technology we have little power over. But I want to say thank you all to have been this patient. Comrades Akuru, Comrade Yerima, I want to thank you also for always being there. That resilience is something that has kept us moving. While we get our people, there are young men and women dying there in the bushes, our people in the refugee camps, some who have displaced from their homes, it is time that we always show them that we are all standing together. I know you must have gone a little bit further. My first statement should be on the retrospect. 2023 mustn't have been a very perfect year because we were so much clouded with division, each person wanting to show how much you can do. But I think one of the things we will not forget is the fact that as one, we all went to Canada, came up with very good resolutions, which we're working on, trying to build something very good for Ambazonians. And I think one of the things we also have learned in 2023 was the fact that we have seen that there's no group that can win as one. We can only win as a united people. So I think that's what we're going to implement on 2024. Keep aside how strong we are, but concentrate on the flag and the objective, believing that no one is indispensable, but also that everyone is needed for us to be free. Thank you.
Yes, I must confess that candidly, while some people have tried to say that we had a very difficult 2023, I want to say here authoritatively that La République du Cameroun had a lot of dust in Ambazonia in 2023. Like I said in my broadcast yesterday, that is, Sunday, January 14, I pointed out that it is certainly because we have done very little publicity about the number of the soldiers, the dogs of La République du Cameroon that are falling on our territory daily. And while we slowed down in really pushing out a lot of these images and pushing out the information to also win the social media media war, the war of numbers. La République du Cameroon closed this gap by using a lot of those they call blacklegs in giving the impression when one of our soldier falls, they will say, or one of our soldiers when one falls, they will say, you know you see they'll put a picture everywhere right there, no dialogue, straight to Toronto, Canada. But what they fail to note is that the time they are able to take down one of our self-defense volunteers, they might have lost about 10 of their talks leading to that. I take the case of General Arke, the venerated General Arke. By the time he was brought down, you saw the jubilation that La République du Cameroon had, but they didn't tell you that they went there in three installments. And during those three installments, they lost about 12 to 13 soldiers to one or two persons. So this should indicate that La République du Cameroon has come to recognize that our self-defense volunteers, though not trained like the soldiers who cost them a lot of millions to train, that we have not only resilience, that our self-defense volunteers have fine-tuned the guerrilla warfare strategy to the point where La République du Cameroon now gets excited if they lose 10, 15 of their soldiers, of their talks, in exchange of to 1 of ours. This, if you do this math, you understand that it's really not been easy for La République du Cameroon. Just yeah, last evening, I had a conversation with some denizens from Baba, and they told me if you know the number of them that fall in Baba here on a daily basis, you won't beat the feeling. So that's just in one precinct. You've not gone to Menchum, you've not gone to Meme, you've not gone to Ndian, you've not gone to Momo, you've not gone to Bui, you've not gone to Donga Matu, you've not gone to Ngokotunja, that's the Ngokotunja that I just mentioned. So these things are happening on our territory on a daily basis. And when I talk to some of the military officials in La République du Cameroon, I mean, the trust what they tell me from internal sources, it's really bad. And the big thing that is playing against them is that they are not providing enough resources to their soldiers. And so a lot of their soldiers tend to be fraternizing with our self-defense volunteers, selling them equipment because they don't get money, so they carry out even their own equipment and munition and everything and sell out. So this tells them this campaign is going to be perilous and perilous pretty soon. So I really want to take this opportunity to congratulate our civilian population on ground zero for continuing to work very hard to stay in unison and in tune with our self-defense volunteers. And of course, Comrade Yerima, I'll come back for you. What specific message, having done a quick retrospective for 2023, or you want to go back there briefly before coming to the key message you have for the civilian population on ground zero, Comrade Yerima?
Yes, Comrade John, thank you so much. There's a lot we can say here with all the, evidence that we've gathered and the intelligence that we've gathered from La République to Cameroon. I just want to add to what you just said that they lost about 10, 12 in one of their operations, and when they put down one or two of ours, they jubilate. Why? And why do the military of La Republic has to sell even arms to some of our boys on the ground, our volunteers, our revolutionary volunteers on the ground? Because now we know, and it's a fact, that the Bulu gang led by Paul Biya has hijacked the keys to all the warehouses where they keep their military hardware. And why? Fear of who? Or the second reason is preparing to impose on Frank Biya, people of French Cameroon, whoever stands up when Frank takes over from his father. These are things which are going on. And our people should be aware that we know about all of those things. But what is important for us as leaders is to find solutions to all the problems or most of the problems that we are going through and to strategize in a way that we are going to bring freedom to Ambazonia. And I want to assure them in informing them that there's always been this message of collaboration. We want to see all of you leaders come together. But most of the time on your platform, you host Comrade Frizo and myself. And I believe that we have been the people who have shown our people that we stand for the flag. We stand for our anthem. We stand for our people. Our people should know that they are the ones to choose who their leaders will be when Amazonia is free. Our assignment right now is to liberate Amazonia, and we are taking it seriously. We will never compromise on this. That is the assignment that they've given us, and we took it seriously. And as all of us who are seated here were conveners of the conference which took place in Canada last year, I think our people saw it on TV. They saw the resolutions were out, and we've been working so hard. A lot of people ask me, why didn't you come up with your speech this year? We want to listen to you, even our liberation fighters on the ground. It's a simple answer. I had some health challenges, and moreover, we've been working so hard on the terms of reference of a collaborative secretariat that is going to be running the affairs of the Amazonian Liberation Project. And we are going to be seated there and making sure that our liberation struggle is on the right direction.
Yes, thank you, Comrade Yerima. I will definitely come back to you. We'll definitely come back to you when we have the opportunity to delve into this issue of the secretariat. Let me go back to Comrade Prizo. Comrade Prizo, what specific message do you have for our civilian population on Ground Zero, and especially to our prisoners of war as well, and also to, those that are refugees and the internally displaced persons who have been facing a lot of woes but remaining strong?
Thank you, Comrade Akuro.
Can you hear me,
And I
Comrade
want to first of all
Prizo? Okay,
thank,
yes.
yeah, let me thank Comrade VP Yerima for an explicit explanation on how we have worked and what we expected. But what I would say now on our comrades on Ground Zero, comrades, we cannot continue to be gullible in a point where agents of La Republic will continue to manipulate us. They come in, like the case in Manfi, kill, and take cover to defend themselves, and even put that the act was committed by restoration forces. Because we have been proving this gullible, it gets to a point where we do not even ask questions. I'm taking this on a specific case because I'm from Manfi. When I heard the former mayor say, I had warned people before, which means he knew the case was going to happen. He could describe even those who were killed, the person who was raped twice, as if he was present in the scene. If we continue to be gullible, they will continue to kill us and use us against ourselves. This is a policy they have used for too long, divide and rule. And I want to assure you the mission order of the SCNC that brought us to where we are today is always to defend the people. The national chairman of SNC, Pamfofo, is there in prison, who has gone to prison every year at least twice because he has been holding tight the mission order. And what's the mission order? Respecting the flag and bringing freedom to the people. And I want to say this to our brothers and sisters on Ground Zero. We have not changed from the mission order. You should not change from the mission order. We know that in everything we want to achieve, there should be sacrifices. Whatever suffering you get today, it is because you want to achieve the greater one. Remember, those of us in diaspora, we will not betray this cause. I can tell you this without relenting, without blinking. We will never betray the cause. Try to be the eyes of the freedom fighters, restoration forces. Despite the odds, I'm not going to tell you today that you're not facing your own from the restoration forces. This is something I will say objectively and clearly. Some of you face some difficulties that has made some of you even to think that the revolution was a mistake. But I want to assure you as I'm talking today, because before whoever stands up, it is the SCNC. And as the acting national chairman of SNC, I'm saying this very clearly. If you face some of these little problems, please let it not impact the revolution, because the revolution is just. And we have never taken a different position from defending and freeing homeland. These little difficulties, some come from the government of La Republique, from what you guys know, the Tangaji boys, where they build boys to act like citizens, like restoration forces to commit all of these crimes. Please, this I am only begging that you resist a bit. It is not far. We are getting even more difficult now. But all you know, the darker time of the night is at day dawn. We are almost at the point of a breakthrough. Stand with us, support the restoration forces, and I want to assure you, we will push La Republic to the table, and freedom will be ours. Thank you, Comrade Akoro.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Prizo. You raised some very important issue there that I really want to talk to. And again, I want to remind our viewers it's possible for you to participate on this particular broadcast. We decided that we could make it interactive. If you want to ask questions, you have the WhatsApp number there. That's +1240 883 6443. So when you use that number, WhatsApp only, you can send text, and at the same time you can actually call if you want to call to ask a question live. That will be in the second segment in just about 15 minutes. But with text, you can begin sending text right away, raising issues, asking questions, and we'll be more than excited to address those questions and to exchange. Because don't forget, we have to do this, all of us. This is about us all. It's not some people's liberation movement. It's not our liberation movement, just us who are in the leadership. It is our liberation struggle, all of us. And so we must all put our heads together to make sure that we win this one. And again, there's something Comrade Yerima and Comrade Prizo said. You know, we are dealing here with an enemy that is specialized in divide and rule. True that this divide and rule will eventually swallow La République du Cameroon itself because it is already about to do so, but it has also had a serious effect on our liberation movement. You will notice that La République du Cameroon has specialized on ground zero in attacking the root, the fundamentals of this liberation movement, especially when it comes to fundraising. So, what do? They notice that this individual, this family appears to be so committed to the liberation movement, and they might be contributing seriously to fuel, to make the economic sabotage strong, to ensure that the cost of occupation continues to grow. And so, what do? They decide to set up their own groups of, so called self-defense volunteers who pass for our self-defense volunteers, go out there, they kidnap the people from this family, either the father, the mother, or sometimes individuals that they just believe that could belong to families that are based abroad that have a lot of resources. They kidnap and ask for huge ransoms. What guarantee they have in their mind is that as soon as you pay this ransom, you become so frustrated against the struggle, against the liberation movement, and you withdraw your support, you withdraw your participation, and in some cases, you even become a blackleg. You even become one of their agents. You don't recognize that they did this because they want you to hate your own very aspiration. This is something so fundamental that we need to continue to educate our people about so that our people grow to know this truth, and we will therefore know that some of these things generally happen during liberation movements. I've spoken to Eritreans. I've spoken to people from East Timor. I've spoken to people from Southern Sudan, and they pointed out that they face those same kind of problems. And sometimes they actually use our own people, especially these guys who have moved to the DDR, who got brainwashed into the DDR, and where it ends up not being a DDR, they end up using them back to carry out some of these odious actions. And of course, they were self-defense volunteers before, and when they come and pose as self-defense volunteers, it's easy to tarnish the image of our liberation movement. It's also true that there are some genuine fighters, some genuine self-defense volunteers who saw this practice and thought that maybe when we are cash strapped, we don't have the means to get what we need to fight with, we can pick up people and squash these resources out of them. And that is a practice that we will be talking about in the very next segment. And that's why I'm coming back to you right now, Comrade Yerima. What message do you have for our self-defense volunteers at the start of the year?
Thank you once more, Comrade John. I believe Comrade Rizzo touched a little bit about that. But I want to tell our self-defense volunteers that they've made us proud to defend homeland, defend our properties, and to defend the interest of our project, which is a liberated Southern Cameroon. I mean, they've done a very wonderful job. And we want to say thank you and congratulations. But yes, we still understand that there are some issues that we need to do better. And I want to use this opportunity to tell them that whatever actions that we take on ground zero or any decisions we make on ground zero, we shall be held accountable in the long run. And we need, it is our responsibilities as leaders who are engaging with them to teach them about these consequences that may come up in the long run. We see the case of South Africa taking Israel to ICC in the Hague. At the end of this all, we may want to say it's witch hunting or call it the way we want to call it, but that will happen. But what we are going to be doing 2024 is we are going to help understand that there are consequences in our actions. And they can even do better by acting responsibly on ground zero. They should be defending our people, protecting our people. And because our people have been the ones who have been giving them the support on ground zero. Those who did not have even money used to give them food. And our people, we are fighting a guerrilla warfare. Our people are their trusted defense. Our people are their trusted eyes. Because when they see the enemy entering our territory from different corners, when we make our people understand we are standing with them and we're moving together, there will be the informant to say, your security matters. Your security matters to us. And we must defend you. And they'll be the one to raise the alarm that the enemy is coming. So your role is to move along with our people by protecting them from the enemy, educating them on how they have to relate with you. You shouldn't be a problem to them. You have to be a friend to them. Let me just use this little analogy. I remember in those days when we came to Europe, our parents sent us to Europe, and we saw how policemen were friendly to us. We were surprised because what we've known back at home is if you go closer to a policeman, he's just going to brutalize you for no reason. And that is what we're used to. So we're afraid of policemen. But the police, the military here are the most friendly people because their role is to defend the people. And that is your role, our self-defense volunteers. So in 2024, we must work with our people because this liberation struggle is for us all. It's not for any group It's not for any personality, it is for the Ambazonian people. And your victory on ground zero is for all Ambazonians. Yes, you're putting in a lot of efforts. Yes, we are here struggling to see that you get what it needs to defend homeland. But that victory is for our nation, Ambazonia. So our operations in 2024 will be surgical.
Thank you
We
very
will not
much,
continue doing the same thing
Comrade.
and expecting different results.
I get you, Comrade Yerima, and thank you so much for those very strong words. Comrade Prizo Agbo, my summary of what Comrade Yerima just noted is that to our self-defense volunteers, you have to not adopt but a slogan, act according to that slogan that we hear in Nigeria when they say police is your friend. Because they say police is your friend. I like our people on ground zero to move around with that notion that our self-defense volunteers are our friends. So like I say, the Amber Boys, our self-defense volunteers are our friends. You understand what I'm saying? Our self-defense volunteers are our friends. That's what they should think. When they come out in the night, if they're moving, they suddenly notice that you are around, they should run to you. They should not be scared and be hiding away from you and things like that. That is exactly what we want to happen in this 2024. You have to be with the people because you are fighting for the people. You recall at the start of this liberation movement, especially of the armed campaign, you always heard people say, our boys. And then at some point here say, the boys. And then before long, you hear they sometimes move to start saying those boys. We want them to get back to that notion of our boys. I guess that is the same feeling you have for Comrade Prizo.
Thank you, Comrade Akoro, and I want to thank VP Yerima for bringing this up. Um, like I said earlier, the mission order, if we had to walk to where we are, it is because even the restorationists, at the point in time when some people were still calling it your thing, the SNC has always made it to be the people's objective, the people's decision. And that's why we're pushing our self-defense restoration forces to stand back at that position. The position you just said, where we call it our boys, because they are not fighting for themselves. We are not fighting for ourselves. We are fighting for the flag, for our people. And for that to happen, you have to gain the confidence of the people you're fighting for. Let them know that you're fighting for them. And that's where I will get to a point where I want to get a little bit deeper than what we've been saying, to call on our other comrades, Dr. Chuayaba, Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, Dr. Sako, Chrisano, and all of them, that 2024 should be a different year, where we all can come back together and understand that what binds us is bigger than what is separating us. We can come back and concentrate on what binds us, hold the flag and the nation, despite our differences. King Gino has said, we might have our differences, but let the difference not break the bond that is binding us. And we all know that the bond that binds us is freedom of homeland. How do we succeed in this? It's coming together, putting the flag first, considering the freedom of homeland as a priority. And that is what SCNC has been standing for. And I want to say, our boys on the ground, let's start keeping aside the fact that we are coming from this group or this other one. But most importantly, what we should be thinking is, what is the objective? Freeing homeland. And that we have one common enemy, and that one common enemy is La Republic. Comrades, 2024 should be a year of realization, where we will examine our mistakes and go back to take hold on the major facts, which are freeing homeland,
Exactly.
realizing that no one owns even the revolution. It is our revolution. Thank you, comrade.
So, um, you know, the heat has really been so strong. So strong, so much so that La République du Cameroon that thought that they were going to do it in 2 weeks, in maximum 1 month, and if they push it 3 months, they have now realized that they will never ever be able to defeat Ambazonia, the former UN Trust territory of British Southern Cameroons, at war, because we were never conquered at war. They've suddenly come to realize that with each passing day, it's clear that they really may end up being forced to quit our territory. The heat has become so strong, so much so that right inside the enemy's camp, they are beginning to tell Mr. Paul Biya these people are not terrorists, they are freedom fighters, and it is normal for them to arise and fight for what they believe in. And comrades Prizo and Yerima, you will be surprised who is saying that. Let's take a little victory lap with Mr. Paul Biya's daughter, Brenda Biya.
Their favorite heroes are actually rebels because it takes a rebel person to stand up against an oppressing system or a system that is unfairly treating other people. It takes a rebel to stand up and change society norms. I'm gonna give you an example. We talk about people like Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Albert Einstein, of all people. They all stood up for what they believed in, and they all weren't afraid to change social norms and to do things differently and to rebel up. So I'm not inviting anybody or telling everybody to be a rebel, but I'm saying being rebellious is not necessarily a bad trait. It just means that you don't think in the same way of society, and that you're not afraid to stand up for what you believe in, and you're not afraid to be yourself. So that's all I was saying. People talk that.
So kudos for this goes to our self-defense volunteers on Ground Zero. You know why? She may look really not in you know excellent health, excellent state. She may be the way she is, but of course, she has had the opportunity to read about people who stood up for what they believed in, and whom at the time that they stood up for what they believed in, they were called names, but whom at the end of the day are heroes. Come to imagine this. Today, as we speak, we are in the United States of America observing a holiday, and this holiday is called Martin Luther King Day. But at the time, those who felt that it was wasting their time, who were chief slaves, who felt that it made sense for them to continue to enjoy the stupid advantages that they thought that were really advantages as chief slaves that they were about to lose because people were asking for something called total freedom, today are venerating the late Martin Luther King Jr. So the lesson you learn from here is that with persistence and then with resilience, you end up transforming even those who disdained you into your admirers. And that's exactly what is happening here right now. So, Comrade Yerima, we will not be able to win this thing without resources. We will not be able to wrap it up, especially this 2024 that we call a decision year, that we call a must year, where we have to completely bury La République du Cameroon because the economic sabotage has been so effective. The economy of La République du Cameroon is crashing at a level never before seen. La République du Cameroun is faced now what they themselves have described as tension de trésorerie. So right now things are so bad that they are taxing everything to the point where they may soon tax air. And of course, they are going as far as announcing a reduction in salaries, in wages, where people are even earning in the first place peanuts in the name of wages. So what message do you have, Comrade Dabne Yerima, to the people of the southern Cameroon, especially those in the diaspora who should be making these huge contributions to get us across the finish line?
Okay, thank you once more, Comrade John. But first, let me just pass this message. I believe that one of um, the group of people within our communities that would have helped us to mobilize resources for our liberation struggle have been the chiefs, because they are the custodians of our culture. But some of these chiefs have become so recalcitrant and are running the agenda of the enemy on our territory. And as a result, I want to say the gods of our land will not let them go unpunished. And for those who have stood with our people for the last 7 years, I pray that the gods of our land should bless them for their leadership. And I want to encourage them that they are our fathers. They wholeheartedly want a liberated homeland. Their voices are strong amongst our people. And in finalizing this push to Boya, I'll plead with our fathers, those who are with us. They're supposed to play a neutral position in this war of liberation, this war of extermination. But they have a duty to tell our people this is the right thing to do, so that they should be part of contributing in every way possible to see that we take on this final push to Boya. There are other ways that will be raising funds for the liberation struggle in 2024. We can structure the citizens levy or the liberation tax. But all of this needs some form of education of our people. In the beginning of the liberation struggle, all of us were paying our citizens levy until when we got some comrades who came in and were using the struggle for their livelihoods. And I don't want to go into all of that. And a lot of people stopped contributing their citizens levy. But it's our responsibility to go back to our people and say it is our duty to contribute to liberating ourselves. We are going to be educating our people and reinstating the citizens levy. Because in order to be successful and handle the humanitarian crisis and those of our liberation fighters, volunteers who are wounded on ground zero, even some of our refugees who are sick in Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, and even in the Mexican border, we need money. So we are already talking on a way of getting a port where all of us Amazonians will be contributing to that port. And we are going to have representatives who will look over that port and report to our people how those resources are being used. So we are calling especially on the diaspora, all diasporans who are hanging on that simple excuse of mismanagement or simple excuse of those comrades are using money for their livelihood, so I'm not going to contribute. But the three of us who are seated here, none of us are living on the funds of the revolution. I want to assure you that we've put all parameters in place for accountability to you, the people of Amazonia. So when we come up with all the different instruments of contribution, this 2020, those who want to be unanimous, we are going to also provide those. Please, it is time that we should contribute like we have never did in this revolution.
Thank you very much, Comrade Yerima. Um, I mean, that was a very fervent appeal, and I know you have hinged there on the OnePort relief operation that I mean we're working on right now, and I mean that I've been talking about here on this platform for quite a while now, for our people to understand that we have come to that key understanding that we need to fundraise together and finance this liberation movement together, and that is how the OnePort relief philosophy is really going to make a lot of sense. And that is why we chose a platform that is neutral enough to give us a possibility to have that kind of oversight required to make us attain our objective. 2024 is decision year. Take note, the dark clouds that have been descending on La République du Cameroon have come now so close, and you can see that darkness is already beginning to cover that land. We cannot let this opportunity pass us by. We must take it. And the best way to take it is for us to be prepared. That's why I've kept talking here about opportunity, meeting preparation, which will be which will result automatically to success. So, Comrade Prizo, I know that you definitely are going to be talking to about the one pot relief, but what other perspective do you inject into this matter of fundraising? Your message to our donors across the world.
Thank you, Comrade Akoro. I think before I get to the one port donor, the most important thing I need is I want to appeal to Ambazonians is that I will agree with every one of us that 2018, 2019, we all stood and were willing, like VP Yerima said. But I want to remind them, those that have succeeded in the world have failed also many times. But because they held on their dream and stayed consistent, they finally succeeded. Maybe we will talk about their successes. Nobody knows how many times they failed. Let's not count on our failures. Let's look at how to succeed. Let's hold on our dream. No revolution has been funded directly from outside, from from external donors. It starts with you paving a way, and the external donors seeing you having a hold on what you want, then they will come in, and that's why we have been where we are after even 7, 8 years. That's why I want to ask Ambassadors, please. I am not going to say you should do. I'm begging that we should. Our mind is come back together and forget about what we've lost, but think about the objective we want to attain. Whatever we have put in that has been missing, let's put more because we know where we're going. We said a few days ago with you, Comrade Akoro, Comrade Yerima, that the only way for us to achieve this is taking a portion of our attention and holding it. But how do we hold that if we do not have the finances? And that's where I want to still continue to beg Ambazonians, home and abroad. Please, it is a plea. Let 2024 be a change, not only in the strategy, but in the way of funding. While we concentrate on one part, we are struggling to build up something where accountability should be our primordial reason. That means we put it there, we give constant reports on how the money is spent so that it shouldn't be like the past years. But for that to happen, there should be money. Comrades, it is our revolution. It is our objective to free our people. But for that to happen, we need to sacrifice. And that sacrifice, especially financial sacrifice, is needed. This is the time. If we still hold firm on freedom of homeland, this is the time, no other time. So I just, on behalf of SCNC, we're doing a lot already building that to be sure that from ground 1, ground 0, ground 2, and the diaspora to see that structures are put back in place in the way that coordination and financial coordination can be put in place. But we're going to collaborate with all other movements and groups to be sure that we do this perfectly. That can only happen if you give. Leaders have no power. The only way leaders can do anything is when you give them the right. So, comrades, please, this is your year. Let's pave a way for our freedom. Thank you, Comrade Akoro.
Thank you very much, Comrade Priso there. And I really want to make it clear to our people, if we refuse to fund this liberation movement, and we expect that the self-defense volunteers, that our civilian population on the ground, that our internally displaced persons, that our refugees, that our prisoners of war will continue to hold strong, then something is wrong with us. Because for one thing, we must note this. These people are continuing to sacrifice and they are continuing to endure because they believe in the dream that we all couch together. Don't forget that those who are telling us that Ambazonia is an illusion are not different from those who told the South Sudanese that South Sudan was an illusion. They are not different from those who told the Eritreans. Don't forget, the Eritreans, it took them about 30 years to get there. 30 long years. They continued to believe in their dream. Because a dream becomes useless if you don't nurture it. The people of East Timor, they endured. Don't forget that the people of East Timor even failed the first time, went and prepared and came back. We don't want that to be our fate. Because right now, we have opportunity before us to end this thing once and for all. Let me tell you this secret, folks, and don't tell anybody that I told you. Keep it for yourself. Like I said, it's a secret. La République du Cameroon is one of the weakest countries that you will ever have to fight against. But the strength that La République du Cameroon has is divide and rule. We have facilitated that strength and made La République du Cameroon come across as an insurmountable enemy, but simply because they divide us. They cause us to hate each other. They cause us to begin to fight each other. They cause us to even stop funding our own liberation movement. They cause us sometimes to even start calling ourselves the names that they call us. Like, I go onto YouTube and I hear someone who is talking about the independence of Ambazonia, calling other comrades in the same liberation movement terrorists. Oh, yeah. La République du Cameroon their soldiers have been unleashing terror on our people on a daily basis. But we won't hear any of them refer to their forces as terrorists. They won't do that. No matter how much they have dissensions against one another, because they are even far more divided than us. Yet, when it comes to fighting us, they unite. When it comes to killing our people, they unite. When it comes to destroying us, they unite. So what we need to do at this point, folks, is to understand that we cannot go to bed and sleep and we're hoping that when we get up in the morning, we should hear that 15 like we do Cameroon talks fell that way. And we are on Facebook, on WhatsApp, sharing feverishly with all excitement. Yeah, teach them a lesson. Then when they say contribute, we look the other way. How do they get these resources to teach them a lesson? These self-defense volunteers have to fight in order to be alive. If they stop fighting, they will die. For that reason, when they don't have the means to get what they need to do what they have to do with, the only thing left for them to do is to go out there and do some of those things we don't want them to do and fall on the local people that we don't want them to fall on. So for us to be able to overcome that challenge, we need to fund this liberation movement. That is why, responding to the collective call that you people have sent to us, that there is need for unity, there's need for synergy, we need to work together. We have therefore agreed to come up with something called OnePort Relief. We had discussed this. I had discussed this personally with Comrade Ayaba of the Egg of Sea, and of course, we do not have any differences as far as that is concerned. Like you just heard Comrade Yerema say a while ago, we should be able to codify. To codify initiatives like the liberation tax and the citizenship or the citizen levies and all others that have come up, codify them and make sure that we harness these resources in order to better spread the impact of the fundraisers that we do to get to our people. Folks, you people have reminded us that leaders who don't listen will eventually be surrounded by people who have nothing to say. We have decided that we will listen to you. We will work with you. We are going to continue the outreach. Don't worry, today you are seeing three of us here. You are likely to get up one of those beautiful days and find all of us on this particular platform speaking the same language of you move towards one pot relief. It could still become the liberation tax that you pay in there. It could still become the citizen levy that you pay in there, or whatever form of levy that we come up with. But by all means, let us make sure to finance this liberation movement this 2024. This is a decision year, a very, very decisive year. Comrade Prizo, I heard some people say that, and it was on this platform that I received some of those text messages, that the owner of One Port Relief is an agent of La République du Cameroon because they have an NGO in La République du Cameroon. Can you speak to that?
Thank you, Comrade Akoro. I sometimes when we get to some intrigues, we get ourselves instead interwoven. We clarified this. We had also the same fears, but clarified this. One of the things we have to look at is, as per now, the only person that can legalize any NGO remains La Republic because we have not been recognized by the international community while we continue to fight. But what is important is the objective of the NGO. Is it for La Republic? Is it for our people? Because we have our people that are in La Republic du Cameroon, Yaounde, Douala, and all of that are suffering. If we get an NGO that is working for our people in Douala, as much as it's not working for La Republic, for the government of La Republic, for the citizens of La Republic, then it is ours. I want our people to understand that the objective we have at this point in time is that we can take cover over anything to serve our people and set our people free. So I want them not to listen to the distractors who will come up to say, why should an Ambazonian have an NGO in La République du Cameroon? I think that is flimsy. We cannot give that assurance. Secondly, like you said, is it working for us or for them? I think we can agree that it's working for us. These are questions we need to. La Republic uses us and they use their blacklegs. One of the things we need to understand that we have some of our own people who sit there like part of us, but use us to defend La Republic. And these are the same people who will come up like a criticism, like they are for our freedom, yet they are working for La Republic. We need to be very, very technical and I mean, we need sometimes to be reasonable, come back and think. We can no more continue to fall in the play of La Republic. So if one of us has this, and I think one of the things you should also look at deeply is that if you go into the registration, you will also understand that the acting national chairman of SNC, Prizagbo, might have a name in the say NGO Prizagbo, but he can never register an NGO because La Republic will never do that. So let's be very, very reasonable when they want to use us to defend these things. Comrade Koro, that's what
Yeah,
I
I'm
just want
sure,
to.
Comrade Prizo, there is an aspect to it, and I just wanted to add on to that. The first thing that I like us to note is that OnePort Relief has no owner. Because that's one thing you need to first of all bear in mind. So, as Comrade Prisoner said, if there are some people among us who have NGOs, who have organizations that are bringing succor to our internally displaced persons or to some of our people who are living in La République du Cameroon as refugees and bringing them succor, of course, I mean, there is no way we can really renege that action because our people are going through a lot of pain. Much as we are trying to campaign that they should get back home, I mean, we must be really clear that our people need help all the time and should be able to get that help wherever they are. And Comrade Yerima, I see you want to make a statement to that specific issue.
Yes, I just want to add here that we should also learn from other revolutions. If you look at if you study the Indonesian revolution, the Aceh people in Indonesia, they are like another country within Indonesia, and those Aceh people who were working in the central government of Indonesia, what they did was they were contributing 20% of their salaries to the revolution, the Aceh revolution. So there is something we have to understand, and our people should know this. This unholy union forced us to have the kind of relationship we have with La République du Cameroun or French Cameroon, that some of our family members now are still working under that government for their livelihoods. And until Ambazonia becomes free, and then Ambazonia is able to provide some alternative solutions to the livelihoods of our people in terms of their salaries, then we can now say we have everything under control. So we will not encourage our people to use any aspects of this kind. We understand there are recalcitrant Amazonians within the La République du Cameroun outfit who want to betray our liberation struggle or act as black legs within our liberation struggle. But we know that majority of our people who have no choice because that is their source of livelihood, they want to contribute to our revolution. And we need to find a way that they can contribute so that we can also liberate ourselves instead of using all of this name tags and tacking on them. We should do our due diligence very well, and we know because they reach out to us, those who want to contribute to the revolution, they reach out to us. But it is not our place to use name tags uh, and put on them, and even sometimes commit some act of violence on them because they are struggling for their livelihoods. But we will
Thank you,
not
Comrade
tolerate anyone
Yerima. Okay.
who want to betray the revolution.
Thank you, Comrade Yerima. I have a question here, and before I bring this question that has come in through WhatsApp, I want to point out here that One Pot Relief has been developed so well thanks to the expertise of, the Southern Cameroonians and Ambazonians that are very knowledgeable about information technology, and so a lot has been done to make this platform very friendly, very friendly, to the effect where you can even contribute from ground zero without any fear of anyone even identifying you. You'll be embarrassed, uh, happily embarrassed, when I will come here with Comrade Alem to run us through the entire platform. And you'll discover that from Bamenda, from Boya, from Yaounde, from Douala, from wherever, yes, you will be able to contribute directly into One Pot Relief. Your name will not be captured anywhere, not by MTN, not by Orange, not by next year, not by anyone anywhere. The security system put in inside this whole operation is quite robust. We have come of age. From 2016, 2017, right up to this moment, you should recognize that we have come of age, and which means that we have been able to acquire the knowledge required to let us do the things the way we want to do them and attain the objective the way we want to attain it. So there is this question that has come here, folks. Uh, our gentleman says, Comrade Akuro, for how long will we still be relying on collaboration and thinking that those who are benefiting from this liberation movement as a source of livelihood would suddenly agree to take away their source of livelihood? Comrade Prizo, can you first of all speak to that? They say, Comrade Akuro, for how long would we be relying on collaboration and thinking that those who are benefiting from it will suddenly agree to take away their source of livelihood?
Thank you, Comrade Akuru. I think no revolution has ever gotten 100% supporting. And that's why we're talking about blacklegs, people that are used by the Republic, people that came into the revolution for their own personal reasons, use the revolution for a stepping stone to live their own lives. Yet, what is important is that we identify those who are willing. That's why we talk about the growth of the willing. That's why the three of us have been working, and we want to enlarge it. Those who are there for the struggle. And when we can come together as a team, work perfectly, Amazonians on their own will decode those who are for the struggle and those who are there for the livelihood. I know those who are there to feed fat on the revolution will pray that it should never finish. On our side and on the side of La Republique, let me remind you that even on the side of La Republique, there are people who have been working hard to see that the struggle continues so that they benefit. And that happens in all other revolutions, not only ours. But I think our objective should be centralized on something: how to fast track this revolution, get to the final line, free ourselves, and make sure that these people, these benefactors of this revolution, will find themselves wanting. It will always happen. We know them. But should we go out there and continue fighting them, it will be a distraction. Because instead of fighting the enemy, the common enemy, we'll be fighting these people. There's an easy way to do this. And that's what I have been talking with my people. A leader has no power. The person that has power is the people. If you have identified that there are some people living on the revolution, who is making them live on the revolution is you. Because the resources you give are the resources that you work on. Why should you still be giving your resources to somebody you know is using the revolution for his livelihood? When you know the right people who are suffering for the revolution, if you withdraw your support, that person will fall. And that's why I want to come back to Abazin to say, if somebody is using the revolution, it is you, not the person. Because if you withdraw your support from that person, he will not use the revolution because the money will not come. You're intelligent. Ambazonians are the most intelligent people we have seen. If we allow ourselves to be used by a manipulator, let's not blame the manipulator, let's blame ourselves. 2024 should be a different year. We have already, I think the biggest solution to a problem is knowing where the problem is coming. We have already diagnosed what is the sickness, the sickness, the symptom of it. Treating it is nothing. So if you accept with me that we have diagnosed what is the problem, we know those who are benefiting from the revolution, it is left for the solution, which is a 1-minute stop. Do not give your resources to the place. And that's where we talk about the OnePort, where we can give day-to-day report on every cent you put in. Those who are benefiting can never give you. We're calling on you, come and support the revolution through the OnePort, where we will use it the way you design it to go, not the way we want it to go. That's the way I can say. That's the little thing I can say about it. Thank you, Comrade.
Thank you, Comrade Prizo. Comrade Yerima, you heard that, I mean, the remark made by Comrade Prizo as far as this is concerned. And before I get to you, Comrade Yerima, I want to make this very clear. Listen, folks, we are moving towards this single pot. That we call one pot relief. We are moving towards this one pot for the simple reason that we want to stop this practice, this attitude of people feeling that the liberation movement is their chop farm. Let me use what I know is their chop farm, is their source of livelihood. If we don't sever it, we will leave them because such people will never even wish that we kick La République du Cameroon out of our territory because they don't know what the future will reserve for them after that. Because if this is what is providing them a source of livelihood, they will never want us to get that freedom. They will never want this to end. It is for that reason that we are moving, therefore, towards having a single form where oversight will be really, really enforced, and where these funds will be used for the exact purpose for which it is intended. You saw before, DAC going out of his way to ask people who use the platform to raise funds for a particular purpose to provide evidence that the funds were used specifically for that purpose, to account for this. So the era of accountability is here. And I'd like to thank Comrade Comfort Ngebe, who is reminding, he says, "Dear comrades, Ambazonia is not revolting against La République du Cameroon. Ambazonia is liberating itself." Of course, this is a liberation movement. This is not, it's not just a revolution. No, we're not revolting against La République du Cameroon. We are liberating ourselves, Comrade Yerima.
That is correct. We are liberating ourselves. But we should understand that war is business for La Republic today. And our revolution, some of us have taken advantage of it. So, but we are here to look for solutions. And as leaders, we've been given mandate to liberate for this liberation project. We can only come here and tell you about solutions because we know the ills that are within our revolution struggle. And OnePort relief is that solution. And nobody, no leader who will sit in the leadership council will depend on that OnePort relief for their livelihood. So that is the underlying fact. It has been established, we've agreed. Our brilliant minds in IT have worked on that platform that is going to serve us well and is going to be accountable to all of us. One thing I'll talk to our people is we need to be responsible. We should stop playing the blame game because it will take us nowhere. And we should face those people who are determined to long track this revolution. We should face them outrightly and call them for who they are. This is the people's revolution. It is for the people, and it has to be run by the people. And that is the solution that we have on the table. It is not for any group, not for any strong man. It is for the people of Amazonia. And we are here to call on all Amazonian people to join us and take back their liberation and direct it the way they want it directed, so that someday, not long from now, all of us will sing that great song of all, free at last, thank God in heaven, we are free at last.
So, thank you, Comrade Yerima. We have someone on the line, Pastor Asobo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you guys well.
Okay, awesome. Let's take your contribution.
My question is going to Comrade Yerima, because we talk about, I heard him talking about we should stop blame game, and I want to also say, when you talk about we should stop talking about blame game, it is an indirect way of blaming other people or saying they are blaming. What we expect during this particular period of this revolution is for people to humble themselves and recognize what other people. Brother Mr. John Ba, you understand me well. If something is not really aching me, I will not just come out and say it like this in the public. We should humble ourselves and keep certain attitudes away. For instance, I hear Comrade Yorima here now talking. Whenever things happen in our community, I don't always hear him come out to defend these things. Especially, for instance, I hear you every day. The other day you were talking about the lady that was killed in Manfi, the 5 months pregnant woman. These are our people dying every day. We have our comrades like President Siseko Ayuk detained in prison. He is representing him. Okay, brother, the best thing now that we have to do is to hit these people hard and stop coming on the air like this and indirectly blaming other people for not doing what you want. You are leaders. It is possible you have a telephone that you can pick your telephone, call your brother, and both of you speak face to face. We have acknowledged you guys as leaders leading one organization or the other. Why wouldn't you people do that? You come on the air and you are trying to lobby people to feel like you are better than the other person. No, you guys should talk behind. There's a way you can call other people and both of you agree on things and stop coming in the air and talk about blaming. You people are the
Pastor
ones causing
Asobo,
us to feel like we are blaming you guys, because if you guys agree behind and come in front and do things, it will be fine.
so
Let
Pastor
me quote
Asobo,
an
what is the way
example.
forward? I've taken your question. So, what do you propose? What do you
Okay,
suggest?
my proposal is this. If there is anything that you guys want to talk, like a major decision to be taken, for instance, for example, you guys just came from a meeting from Canada. The last meeting that you guys came from Canada, not every leader went there. Not all of you that I understand you are leaders went there. And then I was trying to find out why is it that people did not go there. They said they started a meeting too, which some people did not go there. I said, okay, this is not a good idea that somebody starts a meeting, another one starts another one starts another one, and it becomes like a Chinese parliament. Please, we are at war. We are in trouble. Our people on the ground are dying. We are pleading that leaders like you, the consortium, the IGK, and the ACOFC should come together. You guys should get together and talk sense. Position is not going to help us now. Being a president is not going to help us now. What will help us is when we have compassion over our people, get together, work for them. There is a time for contention. When you prove that you can be a leader, there will be a time that we all will elect somebody who will lead us. Brethren, let's humble ourselves, get together, and let's see how we can kick the enemy out. And then we come with the elephant at home, and then we fight on the meat.
Thank you
Don't
very
fight
much.
on the meat when it's still on the bush running on the forest.
Thank you very
God
much,
bless you, sir.
Comrade
I'm
Asobo.
sorry if I'm taking your time
No,
too
no, no,
much,
it's okay, no
or I'm
problem.
not making my idea comprehensible. Please put it together and let us be able to come together. We are out here, we are behind, we watch behind, we walk behind with you people. Any of you that is functioning well, we walk behind with you people. But
Thank you
we
very
need
much,
a place,
Comrade
a table
Asobo.
of understanding, a table of understanding.
Okay, I'm giving the opportunity for Comrade Yerima to respond to that query. And before I do that, Comrade Yerima, there's this other question that came up here before you get into responding to Comrade Asobo. Someone is asking, this is from Kwame. Kwame says, how much more time do we have to wait for this OnePort relief to be up and running? Of course, comrade, you have seen me displaying the link here. OnePort relief, the link is live, is actually live. What you perhaps are asking is when maybe we'll be doing an official launching of this. Funds are already being contributed there. If you like, just click on www.oneportrelief.org. As you can see, the URL on my screen here on the scroll. You go in there and you will find that there are counties, people from various counties are already contributing. Mezam County, Momo County, Bui County. So it's open. This is very important for us to know. So one pot relief is already open. What you might be awaiting now is just that opportunity for us to come sit down, perhaps as a family, and say, okay, today we are launching, but that launching doesn't mean that money should not be going in because we are already contributing into this. And then there was another comment, like a question. So many more groups participated in the Canadian talks more than those who did not. These groups that participated in Canada have followers. Could these groups and their followers not be able to jumpstart this one pot relief contributions? Of course, we are working on that. All of those who participated at the Southern Cameroon People's Conference in Canada, of course, all those people are going to be contributing. Everyone will contribute. We are going on a very massive crusade to ensure that everyone contributes. While I let Comrade Yerima take the questions that were asked him and, of course, get Comrade Prizo to also comment on it on those positions, I'll come back to some of the questions that are coming in from Ground Zero. Comrade Godina Sir, I acknowledge you. Marvin Lionel say we are one people and joining together is a bigger win. Congregating together, we can do it. So let's go. Comrade Yerima, over to you.
Well, thank you, Comrade John Bakuru. And I also want to thank Pastor Asobo for that observation. I believe he must have, if he followed me closely, would have seen that there are lots of when incidents happen. Sometimes I come up with audios about them, or I come up with write-ups which are circulated about that. But when I talk about the issue of blame game, we are in a revolution. We're in a liberation struggle. We are not in party politics. That some of us within our revolution has taken the revolution like we're in a party politics. And some act like know all, do all, which is not the truth. The truth is, when we work together as a team, in humility, as you rightly said, we are going to win big. This has been our message. And, you know, we must also call the situations that we are dealing with for what they are. Look at our WhatsApp groups. What is it all about? We are fighting amongst ourselves. Comrade John cited something here that the invader, when they come and they commit atrocities in our territory, they hide it from the public. Even when they are killed, as many as we know are killed in our territory, They don't put the numbers out. That is maturity. And that is where we are supposed to be. So that is what I'm saying. And in all humility, you've seen the three of us always come and tell our people, come together. Let us work together. The mandate first is liberating ourselves, not fighting amongst ourselves. And when we liberate ourselves, we, the people, are going to put together those instruments that is going to govern our territory. It is not one man know all or do all that is going to do that for us. So we need to start killing that kind of spirit that is within our revolution, because it's not what we are going to take to a liberated Amazonia. And I want to say this here, and openly too. Amazonia will not accept any warlord in a free Amazonia. We will work together as a team. We will develop Amazonia as a people in a free Amazonia, so that our children and generations to come should enjoy all the amenities that some of us enjoy today. Just look at countries like Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso. Because of good leadership, within a matter of months, they've changed from adverse poverty to the growing economies in the world.
Yeah, Comrade Yerema, I'm going to interrupt you briefly because I have another member of the audience on the line. I have Barrister Ninkov calling all the way from Belgium. Barrister Ninkov, your life.
Yeah, thank you very much, Comrade John Bagoro. I am called Confongebe. Confongebe. Of course, I'm popularly known as Bertrand Nikonf. I'm not a practicing lawyer, and I'm very much versed in the law with the law. The point is, many people describe me like I'm a barrister, I'm a lawyer. Actually, I'm just so popular in that area, but I'm not a full practicing lawyer. Come from Gambia, my name, I am from the grassland, and that is from Gambia. So this is my point or my question here, my gentlemen. First and foremost, Happy New Year to all of you, fellow comrades, and best wishes to each and every one of you. Yeah, my fellow comrade, we come from a country where each and every district, we do have our cultural development associations, and they are all over scattered now in the diaspora because of the war in our homeland. And my question is, how do we convince these our respective cultural groups to understanding that unless and until Amazonia is liberated, or Southern Cameroon is liberated and free, there's no tangible development that can take place in our homeland. Any development taking place in our homeland now is risky. It can be damaged, can be destroyed at any time, it's only risky. So how do we convince them so they can come on board and join the fighting community of the Amazonian people liberating their homeland so we can be free from that real Cameroon and then develop our country jointly together? Because when you look keenly, the custodian of some of our laws, traditions, they're all in diaspora, hiding in Yaounde, and then they sneak from Yaounde and then come to the diaspora, and then these our respective various groups will contribute money and then give to them. They take it back and then go and stay in Yaounde and then continue to do their dirty work with the regime in place. They are not standing up for the people that they claim to be representing. And so now, how do we convince these our respective groups? Because year in and out, until Amazonia is liberated, it's just like we were throwing water on the decks back out here, cultural group, whereas the country, I mean, our homeland is still, and most of all will die out here because you cannot even be buried in your homeland. So please, that's my first question. And one other point I wanted to chip in here is, isn't it time that we cut the umbilical cord by
ourselves, because the liberation struggle right now is like going forward and back, because amongst us we have those who claim that they are our elites, they are our senators, they have been MP, they are all unelected, they don't have no powers, and they are the ones giving the authority to continue to killing our people. So can't we like cut the umbilical cord by just cutting them off in any way? La Republic of Cameroon will keep recruiting the army, the innocent children, they come and killing them. While some of these are people who they themselves, they don't even have a voice in the country where they claim they represent our people. How do we take that? How do we eliminate that strategy? I mean, not eliminate, like, just find a way and then stop them from claiming they're representing us. Thank you.
Thank you very
Gentlemen.
much. Thank you very much, comrade. And we don't have a lot of time again because this slot was meant to be about 1 hour 30 minutes. That's 90 minutes, but we are getting well to 120 minutes. Comrade Prizo, I'd like you to begin attempting a reaction to that question and a contribution from our brother in Belgium.
Thank you, Cobra Koro, and I want to immensely thank our brother for the question, and I think it's also an highlight. I think one of the first things he asked about us eliminating this aspect of the blame game. I think what Comrade Yerima said was telling us that let's stop looking at who did what and who did not do what, and concentrate on a revolutionary method and wait for partisan politics when we must have been free. And I think he is saying the same thing. But how do we do this? For us to achieve this very objective, which he also wants, which is what we want, is that we come together, concentrate on the revolution, forget about, we should be, this is something we need to accept. There is no perfect revolution. All revolutions have their setbacks. And that's why Comrade Yenma said we should stop looking at blame game, but assume the errors we make and come together as a team. Because if we agree to come together as a team, one is that we're going to cope some of the errors we make. We're going to, we might not eliminate them completely, but we'll reduce them. And secondly, as a team, we will know that we are working on the revolution and not on partisan politics, where some people have become already presidents, leaders, and so on. We start looking at the leadership we have in those who have sacrificed the whole of their life, which are there. The next one he talked about, if I'm not mistaken, what was it? If I'm not mistaken, I think he talked about
cultural groups in the diaspora.
Yeah, I think it is something we need to get back to tell our people. You cannot build what will be destroyed the next day. La Republic has born how many villages? More than 400 and something villages are born every day. Are we going to rebuild a village that will be born tomorrow? That's where we have to come back to educate our people. First things first. We liberate ourselves first, then we can construct. We cannot be constructing in a war area where whatever thing we build will be destroyed in the next minute. We're talking about what happened with Mafia. I always like to cite Mafia, what just happened recently. People being born in houses by agents of La Republique that they brought some from DDR and in other places. If you build that same house and tomorrow people are being born, killed, have you achieved anything? If you build a Mafia hospital which will be born in the next minute, and that's why we need to get our people to understand that until we free ourselves, whatever thing we intend doing like development, it is inconsequential. And that we cannot also do it by force. We should do it by education. And that's where SNC had propelled in the past, where we worked on educating. That's why when our young men and women pick up sticks and stones to resist, they picked because of the education we gave them. We need to now come back and think about educating our people properly. we leave this aspect of force, we leave the aspect of fighting one another, we go back, that a war goes with education. Go back and find strategies of educating our people to understand which strategy is first and which one is second. So I
Okay.
will all just tell my brother the procedure we are taking, cultural groups going to build, going to think they're supporting people, is a total waste of resources. The first strategy is building these resources, directing them to freedom of homeland. Then we can think about development. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Priso. Before I move on to Comrade Yerima, I want to make this remark. Take note, folks. I think this question from our comrade in Belgium, I think they call him, okay, he says, somebody, is it Confon Gebe? Say, hey, we know that man from Europe. He's a great man. Oh, that's, as I always call him Major Ninkov. So I've never taken note of the other name. So I want to say that that remark actually comes and it fits well because I had raised this issue here before, especially when I went to Minnesota when we were having a tour there and noticed, and I literally had to attend an occasion by the Mancon people, the Mancon Cultural and Development Association or whatever. So they were raising funds for development back in Mancon, in Bamenda, the Bamenda that we know, where there was shooting non-stop for around 3 hours the whole of last night. People even off station, nobody could sleep. I mean, even off station where they felt that is safe and all of those things. It wouldn't, it would serve no purpose. They raised over $200,000. That money will be so wonderfully used in liberating the land. It's the same thing I'll say to all cultures and development associations. We need that money. The development aspect we need now is kicking La République du Cameroon out of our land. And 2024 presents the best opportunity. Comrade Yerima, before I come to you, there's this question that comes again here, this remark here. Comrade Akuro, you have always had Yerima and Prizo on your show. Are the others refusing to participate in your show? If yes, are those the same people you expect to come collaborate with others? Well, I'll make this remark. We'll always keep the doors open. I've had Comrade Chris Anu on this platform, and I guess that I've had occasions that I've been on the same set. On this platform, it wasn't this format yet with Comrade Ayaba. We've been on the same set with Comrade Akwanga. It's our hope that we'll be able to get everyone on board. It's a gradual process. Come on. Although I say gradual, I don't think that gradual means it's going to take years because 2024 is a decision year. And we are hoping to break even barriers that had existed long before because at this point in time, there is no more such thing as this one will be a taboo or I can carry my shoulders or I can do what we are ready to get down into the trenches by all means to make sure we federate all resources to get La République du Cameroon out of our land. And I'm seeing a lot of comments here from someone who says, these indigenous people of Amazonia. He says that, Ground Zero Ipoa is better off without diaspora. All of you must come together or forget about us on Ground Zero. Comrade Yerima.
Thank you once more, Comrade John. What I want to emphasize here is there are lots and lots of cultural groups around. I've attended a lot of cultural events in Europe, and because I believe that somebody without a culture has no identity. And to magnify the beauty of Amazonia, we need to showcase our diverse cultural identity. So it's not, it doesn't end at showcasing. We need to participate in our liberation struggle. I know most of them are like, they are registered as, for instance, you can say Belu Cultural Association or Developmental Association. And some of them are raising monies to say we want to go and develop our village or help those who have some humanitarian needs. We are going to take care of development after liberation. What is of essence right now And we are calling on this platform all our cultural groups is that with the OnePort relief, some of them they say they are apolitical. We respect that. But when La Republique is going to destroy a village or a school in your village, or it is your village they are destroying, they don't see you as an apolitical organization. They see you as one of Ambazonia's villages. So it is your duty as you showcase your identity to also think about the livelihood of your people and the existence of your land, your homeland, where your identity comes from. We are not Cameroonese, and we will never be Cameroonese. We are Ambazonians. We must defend that identity of being an Ambazonian through the diversity of our culture or our cultural heritage. Thank you, Comrade John.
Thank you very much, Comrade Yerima. I just read a few more comments, and we have just 2 minutes, and then we'll make our last comments, and we adjourn. Of course, we will have plenty of opportunities to come back here. And for Comrade Kwame, who was asking about this OnePort relief, when will it really get to fruition, the link is live. You can go there right now, even while we are still on this broadcast. Click on that link, go inside there, identify your county, and then you will be able to make a contribution. I'm definitely going to bring Comrade Alem here, and the day I bring Comrade Alem here to walk us through this platform, consider it the launching. Don't expect any other launching. Move inside there, put in the money, because we need to get La Republic du Cameroon running out of our land. And take note, we can't even wait too long, because that's why I say we are not waiting, we are moving. We can't wait because the war is ongoing. It is not stopping. There is no moment that I stop here and say, okay, we are waiting for this. It is, even at this minute that I'm talking to you, there is action going on ground zero. And so we must be able to rise to the occasion. Indigenous people of Ambazonia says, Mr. Prizo, Yerma Dabney, you guys are brave. You must bring everyone on board. Yes, 2024 is the opportunity. Of course, you have that. There are so many messages, and I'm just trying to jump on the snippets that I can get to. It says, other leaders refusing to come to this show must be taxed or faxed out of this liberation struggle. No, they will always come. We are going to make sure we continue to reach out, and we will also go to other platforms. This is not the only platform. We will all go out to other platforms to reach as many more people as we can, because like I said, 2024 is a decision year, and there is no excuse that anyone will be giving. So someone says, yeah, this is correct. I think still the indigenous people of Amazonia, no warlord. The other day, those boys held me and forced me to pay tax. No warlords. We will have to get to the issue of taxation. Like I said, we need to codify a lot of things. We need money to get things going, and so we'll have to do things in a very orderly manner. We will continue to reach out, even those who may want to hesitate to come on board. We will reach out until they pour warm water on us, and we'll know, and then you will see the scars on us and recognize that we made the effort. Is it not the right thing to do, Comrade Prizo? Your final word.
Sorry, Comrade Akoro, I was muted. I think it's the right thing to do. We have tried on many occasions to get ourselves together, and I think this is an opportunity for 2024 that we contribute on one direction where the resources can be properly examined and can create a proper impact to bring freedom to our people. We don't have another option. I think this is almost our last chance. When we come around and blame our forebearers and say they made some mistakes, let's not give room for others to blame us. We are a blessed generation. We are a generation that has been given the opportunity to bring freedom to our people. Yet we have made our errors, but we are lucky to have been given the opportunity to correct them. And one of them is that we have realized that contributing on various pots has cost us not just little. I'm sorry to say, even our brothers and sisters that are suffering on ground zero, some have certainly misused the resources because 20 people will give it to one person, while some people do not have. Majority, our brothers and sisters from the diaspora, some have changed their lives from the resources that have been contributed to bring freedom to our people. The one pot relief is our solution. I want to beg
Thank,
all Ambazonians, you have shared the link. Let's go into that link, contribute the resources, ask all the salient questions. Whatever you put in, I think where your money is, your eyes should be there. Ask your questions, and if they're not answered, come to Komrakuro's platform, go to any other platform and denounce them. But all I want to say, 2024 should not be like the past years. It should be the breakthrough for freedom. Thank you.
thank you very much, Comrade Prizo and Comrade Yerima. You heard what Comrade Prizo said, and we've gathered all what our people have said participating live on this show. I want to note that you should bear in mind one port relief platform is a platform that is designed for you, is designed for me, and the level of transparency that is there is unparalleled. If you are doubting, click on this link right now, www.oneportrelief.org. Go inside there, and as you open it, you will see the amount of money that's already been contributed within this framework. These are tests. Those were tests, but beginning today, real contributions, full-time contribution are coming. Don't say test, that money is not to be withdrawn. That's how you'll be seeing it every week. When you go inside to put money, you'll be seeing it updating. As you come, you'll see how much has already been raised. When you contribute under your county, you'll see how much has been raised by your county. It is simply transparent in such a way that you will not come a day that you'll be doubting, but how much did they finally raise? It starts becoming something like a secret or something that people will be hiding left and right. No, we are using the most up-to-date technology to make sure it serves our purpose, Comrade Yerima.
Okay, thank you once more, Comrade John. And I want to say once more, Happy New Year to all Amazonians on ground zero, ground one, ground two, and in the diaspora. I believe we've come tonight and we've spoken to you people about the way forward 2024. And we can only come with solutions that make us work better, that make us stay on focus, solutions that bring us together as a people to have the opportunity to participate in liberating ourselves. And that is what we need now in our revolution. And that opportunity is on the table now for us to take. I'm calling on all Ambazonians to join us so that we can all make better use of this opportunity by coming together, contributing on the one pot relief, and also making sure that we carry on with our revolution responsibly. My dear people of Ambazonia, without you, we cannot have the courage to do what we do. And I want to also use this opportunity to thank Comrade Prizo, who are always there and ready to work for your interest. We've been working collaboratively for a very long time. And I think very soon you'll be seeing all the other members or stakeholders who are in Canada with us sitting together and making wonderful use of this opportunity. Your voices were heard in Canada. We've taken actions. We are coming up with the terms of reference, and we are already telling you that the OnePort relief is here to stay. And it is our collective responsibility to contribute to that port, making sure that we pursue our revolution to the end. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Yerima and Comrade Prizo. I really want to thank you for the sacrifice, for the time that you've set aside so we be on this broadcast. I want to thank all our people all over the world who spent this beautiful 2 hours with us. And I want to thank especially those who took the challenge to ask questions, who came on live to ask questions. Thank those who sent texts. I mean, a lot of messages. I've not been able to really read all to the people because of time. I want to assure you, we really want to make 2024 a decisive year. And so this year, we are not going to leave anything to chance. We have to bring to federate our efforts. We have to do everything possible to bring everyone on board. Unless you are so recalcitrant to the point that we cannot help, okay, then you will stay out. But trust me, the only way to make sure your money really works for this liberation movement, force us to work together. And one way you will force us to work together, contribute where we all believe you should contribute, so we all see it come up together and we finance all aspects of this liberation movement, not some aspect. It's not like groups that don't come up or people that don't come up. If they have one or two things on ground zero, will not be financed. We are financing everything on ground zero because we are one people, one destiny, and we as a collective people, if we don't fight together like hell to free ourselves, we will all die together like a bunch of fools. So the only way is to fight on, because there is only one way right now as we're involved in this. That way is only forward. There is no way going backward. So thank you, folks, for your time. And thank you very much for being part of this very interesting broadcast. We sure will find an opportunity to be back here for yet another interesting moment on the GMA Connection, where we will talk the freedom of Ambazonia. Until then, have a nice moment.